sound ratio volume stuff. Is that alright? Because I turned the game volume down a little bit. Okay, like I was saying before, you want a save file with X has all of his armor pieces already, so you can start out with Falcon Armor X. And you want all the upgrade chips for all 3 characters. Even though we only use Axel in the intro stage, you still want them to have Hyper Dash and Hyper Dash and the triple invincibility frames. So this is the PS2 version with the outrageously long load times. So there's also other things to note. The PS2 version, you have to worry about lag management too on certain fights, because the game will slow down a lot if you do certain things. So you have to change the way you play depending on what you're doing. Because you actually play the PS2 version and the PC version completely different. In the the PS2 version, you can instant switch weapons with the right joystick. You cannot do that in the PC version. There's no quick weapon switch, so it actually affects how you fight bosses in the PC version. You don't have the options that you can use. It takes too long to actually switch weapons. So this first level is pretty straightforward. Just jump through it. The fastest movement you want to do is dash jumping. That's the fastest way to get around. Thing to note also is whenever you're wall jumping, you don't want to hold the dash button on wall jump. That's the normal wall jump. But when you dash, you don't really go anywhere. It doesn't help you at all. Turn the game volume down a little more. There we go. So this first stage is really straightforward. And other thing to note with Axel, the first stage you can roll if you double dash. It doesn't help during this intro stage here really, so it's not really useful. But if you do any percent, it's really good. So here we get to the 3D section. Personally, I only use the D-pad for movement. I didn't go fast enough. These things will knock you down no matter who you are. They always knock you down. In this first door, you just want to stand back a little bit. Always shoot the pink one. There's a way that was accidentally found that you can skip this little section, but I haven't found a way to actually do it on purpose. Nobody has. So then we have to just deal with this door. If you guys got any questions, just throw them there in the chat and I'll answer them to the best of my ability.
Phew! Somebody please tell me I'm through with the worst of it!
I don't have a highlighted skip, but Cyber Demon does. He skipped it once. Actually, his first time playing this game, he skipped it. And he skipped it. He was using the emulator, and he skipped it. And then I believe it was Dark Blues.
I can't
said he did the skip on accident one time on the PC version.
Happened? They really made a mess.
And I've watched it several times and tried to do the same thing he does, and it's never happened for me on either version. So here we're going to play as Zero. Things to know about Zero. Zero is horrible in the 3D sections. Every single one of them. He's horrible. He's only good for 2D. And one thing we're going to do up here in a minute is this game it has SDC. As you can see, it only really hits above. But what we want to do for these B bosses here is that we're going to slash and then crouch to cancel the slash. And then we can slash again, so it's going to look like this. And it's really useful for the bees that are coming in. This is the only time you really ever use this strategy, because I've tried using it like on Sigma before, and it just pushes them off the platform, which you don't want. Yeah, I don't think testers like this game, so I don't think they'll ever do it. Lol. Alright, another good thing to note here is that for Zero, there's a couple wall skips showing up later, but I'll explain it here now. For some reason, Zero has a double jump. But for some reason, if you jump and then hit jump and swing for the second one, he jumps higher for some reason. That'll actually let you skip some doors on the next stage here. So this stage is just pretty straightforward. It doesn't really matter if you take too much damage, you're going to get all the health back. In the fighting section, here's what I'm talking about, the slash crouch. All I do is slash and crouch and slash again, so there's a little rhythm to it. That's the fastest way we found to take those things out. And here you want to do dashing slashes because they hit twice. And once you get used to that positioning, you'll be able to kill two of them with one slash consistently. But here's where I said it didn't really matter if you took damage at the beginning because you'll get all the health back right here. And then we're going to slash crouch cancel here. Just like that. Now it switches to 3D here. Here's actually, you actually want to SDC this one right here. And the SDC is really hard in this game. Yeah, my positioning was a little off. And it's really hard to SDC that one right there. It takes a lot of practice. It's just a simple climb.
Out of the way! Out of the way!
Huh? Wait a second.
And what they're having, I don't know if I already said this, but they're having the Japanese language or the...
Are you connected to this incident?
Or the English, it doesn't matter because it all goes on scroll speed. And the dialogue, the subtitles will always be in English anyway. So it's just preference.
What's going on?
Oh, this is just... Now you can not hit these back, but you don't want to because it'll cause hit lag. So you just want to jump over them. And for this fight, all you're gonna want to do is just like dash right into his face and then jump and just slash him in the face and wait till his eye frames are gone.
Take care of that freak.
Your invincibility frames are so long that you don't have to worry about taking damage.
You're Zero, so you can handle this, right? I'm Axel. Call me if you need a hand.
Oh, this has become a real pain. I want a full explanation when this is all over.
So we go back to turn on again. He's at half health. He hit that little rage thing. Just wait for him to get done. Really easy boss. You do not want to use Axel for that boss because it will take forever. Things to know about this game on the way of loading screens and stuff is that like I'll admit when I first started playing this game I didn't like it at all just because of the controls, but I beat it once finally. It took me a couple days to beat it, and then the second time I played through I actually enjoyed it a lot more because I understood how the controls worked. And that's when I figured I'd like to start speedrunning it, and here we go, world records later. Alright, and the other reason I like New Game Plus is usually it would pop up every individual stage and say something about it, and that takes forever. But it doesn't do that in New Game Plus, it just says pick your stage. So what we're going to do here is we want to do Gungaroo first to get the explosion ability. And only the first three Mavericks matter. And so we want to pick Falcon Armor X and Zero. What's up, Tack?
Finishing Gungaroo!
Yeah, at first I didn't like this game at all, but the more I played it, the more I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like X7. A lot of people didn't like that, but if they actually sat down and played it a lot and understood it, it's a really good game. Like I like XX a lot too.
Ready?
Alright, so this beginning part's pretty simple. You're just not really gonna want to kill anything. You just dash jump. X and Zero move at the same speed, so for a lot of sections it doesn't matter who you... Now here's what I was talking about with Zero and... Oops. See how I jumped on top of this? Normally you can't do that. It's too high. So you want to jump and slash, and it'll let you jump over and skip that wall. In other words, you'd have to actually kill all those things. But sometimes the timing can be a little tight. It might take a couple tries, but you just have to get used to it. And then, so these doors are kind of weird. Sometimes they don't really want to open. So I'm standing here and I'm like, why isn't the door opening? You have to, I think you have to stand in like a specific spot or something. But the easiest way to do it is to just switch characters. That'll automatically trigger the door to open. Loading.
Ready?
There we go. Alright. And here we're going to go to the top left up here to get this armor. I'm just going to skip across here. We get the armor because it doesn't matter if we take damage really or not. It's just the armor. Oops. And you always want to do dash attacks with the armor that does the most damage. The quickest.
Ready?
And here we're just going to breeze through the first half of here. We don't really have to kill anything. This door we have to kill. We can't jump over it. Because the door behind it won't kill instead. Just jump and just do slashes. I wasn't directly centered, but if you're directly centered, you can kill all the four at the top ones with a slash. When we get back in it, we use this just to kill these things pretty quick here. Hop out of it, you switch characters. You have to kill those green robots before it'll let you in the next room. Now there's a reason I hopped out of the armor, because on this section you have a choice of how to do this next room. If you bring that, you always want to leave the armor there regardless. You don't want to bring that armor into the next room. And I'll show you why here.
Ready?
Alright, here's the gauntlet. You just have to kill a whole bunch of the green robots. But alright, see how the red armor spawned here? If I would bring the red armor into this room, this would be the blue shooting armor, which is horrible. It's a complete waste of time. Now you have the choice of using that red armor here, or just using X. I prefer just to use X, because he's just easier to control and he's a lot faster. You don't have to worry about missing, if you miss the dash, you're just wasting time. And damage really isn't a factor, and if you need it, there's a sub-tank right here if you need it, and there's a front tank on the other side of it. Normally in speedrun you can get the sub-tank or the heart once I find out which one of these pillars is on. Shows you how often I get the heart. Oh, I actually think it's in the beginning. Yep, there's the heart right here. If you need it. In the speedrun, normally you wouldn't want to get it if you don't need it. For this part, just use X. Just kill these robots. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, there's a couple things to note here. If you finish, this guy's down to 1 here. Does the game sound still too loud? Turn it down some. Alright, well... Okay, I'm down to one Maverick. Oh, not Maverick, one robot, whatever. So, you have the option, if you use this thing and kill the last Maverick, you'll have this armor to fight Gungaroo in. That's really good for like beginner strategies and stuff, and you want to do it in normal any %, but not New Game Plus.